let's talk about how to integrate going to these events of conscious sexuality, of Tantra, of temple nights, events where you have a lot of connection, a lot of deep connection with others. And afterwards, you want to make sense of it all. Particularly, I want to talk about attachment, what it is, why it happens, how to handle it. My name is Shashi Solluna. I've been in the world of Tantra for over 20 years. I know, it doesn't seem possible. I have been full-time in this field, partly because it gave me what I needed. I was terrified of intimacy, terrified of connection, but like many other human beings, also a longing for connection. And I found that in the field of Tantra, I literally learned how to open my heart, how to let my energy move, how to heal my shame. And so that's why I gave my life to this field and sharing it with others. Now, something that I've noticed for myself along the way, and now I see so many other people struggling with, is especially the first few times you go, you could be open to levels you've never even experienced before. You're feeling your heart cracking open, you're looking in someone's eyes, and suddenly, vroom, you feel this deep, vulnerable place. Or you feel something that's touched, it's like a thirst that's suddenly quenched. And having held yourself together out there in the world, suddenly you're like, oh, I just want to surrender into the meeting with this other person. It just feels so good. And with that desire to merge comes a very natural phenomenon, which is attachment, a desire to attach, to start building relationship with that person. Now, first of all, I want to make sure that we do not demonize attachment. I hear this again and again, like this kind of Buddha taught us non-attachment. The spiritual non-attachment is about not attaching to a false identity of who we are. It's about staying open-minded to who we truly are. It is not about not attaching to people we love. As humans, we are mammals. We are absolutely wired to attach to people we love. It is very normal. We're actually all born searching for that nipple of our mother, for those arms that will hold us, scanning the environment. Where are our parents? Where's our safety? It's so healthy to attach. We wouldn't survive without it, in fact. That's why it's such a core part of who we are. If you're born and you don't have attachment, you would die very quickly, right? And that's important throughout our entire lives. We're very tribal. We look for our friends. We look for where we belong. We look for love. We look for romance. It is healthy. And I'm absolutely fed up of hearing in the whole Tantra world, like, oh, you shouldn't be so attached. You should practice compersion and just let them go, and non-attachment and blah, 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 blah. I have never seen somebody develop long-term happiness by not attaching to any humans in their life. I have seen a lot, and I want you to check this for yourself, but I've seen a lot of long-term happiness from those who cultivate and invest in relationships with friends, family, and loved ones whom they care about. Those, we've got that huge 10-year-long study that happened that was like measuring the happiest, healthiest longevity people, and it was all about the nature of their relationships. So please don't buy into this whole spiritual mumbo jumbo BS stuff about like attachment is unspiritual and you've got to just override it. That is, check it out for yourself. I'm not here to like preach. I'm here to have you think and I'm here to help you navigate the world of Tantra. But I've seen people even in the world of Tantra who just go for this non-attachment, flowing around, just moving from one person to the next. And I believe it just cultivates a deep feeling of emptiness inside. And I don't think that the ultimate fulfillment of being a human being comes from bypassing our human experience. Yes, we seek a spiritual experience. We want to connect to that oneness, that one love, that we are all one. Like, what is it that's universal about us? We want that. We call that transpersonal love. We want that spiritual transpersonal connection. But I would say never at the expense of our humanity. That is bypassing. And when we push our human needs aside, the part of us that wants to connect, that wants to be in love, that wants to be important to someone, if we push that aside and just try to love everyone equally, I just see it backfire again and again. I find the perfect balance in Tantra is to nourish both. Nourish both. The higher self is activated when we can taste a transpersonal love. And the small self is nourished when we have deep personal love and friendships. I'm going to go a little deeper into those in case you're new to all these terms, and just say a little bit about it. So out there in the real world, we know a lot of personal love. All the mainstream pop songs about falling in love and heartbreak and movies, they're all about personal love. Personal love is what it sounds like. It's personal. It's like you fall in love with me specifically. It's all about me. It's all about you. There can be a lot of projections on top of this. That's another story. But it's you're the special one. There's this, isn't it amazing when you're in love that there are billions of people on the planet, but there's one that occupies your space and time, and you check for their text in the morning and you see how they are. How brilliant is that we can form an attachment to one out of the billions, and it's a really precious thing to have that sense of belonging. So this is personal love, and it happens, of course, romantically and with friendships and with family. Personal love. But I'm of course referring quite a lot here to the romantic one. When we fall in love with someone romantically, our heart opens, we surrender our heart to love together. Two hearts, it needs two hearts surrender to love together. It's a very beautiful phenomenon. Many people say it opens the portal to the divine. Very, very special, very vulnerable. Two hearts are vulnerable, hearts can be broken. And that's what it is, fall in love. And I'm also not afraid of saying falling in love. People say, oh, rising in love. It's actually, there's a surrender. And it does feel like, I'm melting into love here. So two people can fall in love, and it's personal. It's really about this person. They're irreplaceable. You don't fall in love with someone and go, oh, they're busy today, I'll just transfer that love over to this person. No, it's personal. So this is personal love, and we're used to following a trajectory. We meet, we fall in love, we date, we move in together, maybe we get married, maybe we have children. There's an assumption, there's a journey, there's a relationship that's built upon personal love, and it can be deeply rewarding, it can also be triggering, and it's many things. It's a journey. Personal love. Now let me introduce the other type of love, transpersonal love. And this is what happens at Tantra workshops and festivals and, temple nights and other conscious sexuality events. Let's say you walk into a room, there's, 100 people in there, and the music's playing, and you stop in front of someone, hold their hands, you breathe together, you look in the eyes, you start feeling you're being seen, something softens, your guard comes down, maybe you have tears, a soft tear rolls down your cheek, and you're like, wow, I feel deeply seen. You namaste that person, you move on, you meet another person, something's deeply touched, you put your hands on each other's hearts, you feel safe together, you melt open. You meet another person, maybe you share, I forgive you for, and you have a little interaction. So this is guided and held space. And in these spaces, you can have incredibly deep connections. You can feel blown away by the depth of the connection. And if you're with especially one partner for a tantric ritual or a practice, and you do a number of things, you might end up out of that workshop feeling like, wow, this is the one. This is my person. Nothing could be more upsetting than thinking, that's it, I've met this important person, this is it, wow, we both felt it, I know it. And then you find out that they're that was just a workshop. Or worse still, you go to the next workshop and then you see them eye gazing with the next person and massaging someone else, and it feels like heartbreak. And this happens all the time because we are not taught about transpersonal love or how to integrate it, and because facilitators let you have these experiences without enough centering. Something that annoys me a lot. I'm always teaching the people I train, bring people back to center after interaction. We're not here to sell a drug. We're here to teach people how to open up. Which brings me to the point of, why do we do this? What's the point of transpersonal love if it doesn't mean anything? It's not that it doesn't mean anything. It's like a way of practicing. Let's practice how it is to open our heart so that our heart isn't all defended. We're not going to attract a soulmate out there if we're all shut down. So we go to Tantra workshops so that we can open and practice being open, and then integrate that and carry that open-heartedness into the world so that we can move our energy, so that we can, it's about us. It's about us. So you may go and interact with others in these events and workshops and festivals. But please don't forget that it's not about them, it's about you. We're so used to going to events looking for something outside of us. I mean, we just live in a consumeristic world, so we're taught to go everywhere looking for something outside of us. The real traditional tantric and Taoist practices always, always, always brought us back to the source of desire within ourselves, because they contain meditation. There is not enough meditation these days in the world of Tantra and conscious sexuality. I cannot say it enough. There is not enough meditation. Osho said, if there is no meditation, it is not Tantra. So if you're going to events and the facilitators are just getting you connected, and then suddenly the events are over and you didn't drop back into yourself, then please take the time to do it for yourself. When the event finishes, thank the people you've been with. Go sit in a quiet corner, close your eyes, and feel what is awakened inside of me, what is opened inside of me. Oh, my heart feels vulnerable but open. Let me just hold that. How does that feel? Oh, it feels like tingling in my chest. It feels like a relaxation around my shoulders. Smile to that. I welcome that feeling. That's my open heart. You know, whatever the feelings are, they're inside of us, and centering means to bring our awareness back to what's inside of us. If we don't do that, we can be left projecting that feeling onto the person that was there when we open and feeling like, I need that person. If that person is not available for attachment, then we're in a painful position of like, oh, something was open and now the food that nourishes it is gone. So this is what is happening, and it's so helpful to understand this when you go. I'm not saying that you can't meet amazing people in Tantra workshops. I have met long-term partners in workshops. I met my first long-time partner, which was 9 years. I met him. I didn't meet him in a Tantra workshop. I met him in an enlightenment process, but we were eye-gazing. I met my second really long-term partner of 8 years, also in a Tantra workshop. There we were actually in the workshop together. So it's of course possible to meet someone in a workshop and then cultivate a relationship. But it's not the point, and it's not the majority of what's happening either. So I want for you to be able to navigate this world taking care of your own heart and your own body and your own boundaries and your own beautiful, precious soul as much as possible. I want you to know, what is the purpose of going? The purpose of going is opening, practicing openness in yourself, practicing openness. Yes, you can interact with others. It will help you open. It's a wonderful blessing. Feel gratitude to them. Wow, thank you. You know, thank you for touching my heart. Thank you for my sexual energy just moved when I danced with you. That's a blessing. Thank you for, you know, touching me in that way that my whole body melted. That was just so beautiful. And it's mine. It's my melting feeling. It's my open heart. It's my juicy energy. It's this is in me. So centering is going to be tremendously helpful. Coming back to yourself, meditation, absolutely essential. Understanding transpersonal love, also essential. And here's something about, like, if you do meet someone and you both think this is it, the love that you experienced in the workshop was created by the facilitator, not by the two of you. This is really important. I had to learn this one as well. The facilitator, the music, the lights, the rose oil, the, you know, all the beautiful things happening, the atmosphere, the facilitator guided a practice, you had your hands on each other's hearts, you did a forgiveness ritual, you felt so much love with this person. There may be something there. Maybe both of you want to explore it outside of this, but here's the important question. Can that person who you interacted with, can they hold space for that kind of opening themselves? Or do they need a facilitator? It's fine if they need a facilitator, but you need to see the difference. Because love isn't something that we push through our hearts. We set up certain conditions, which is safety for the heart. And facilitators, we know this. When the heart feels safe, it opens. When the body feels safe, it opens, actually. Same. And the facilitators in the space create a certain safety, and then you open and it feels amazing. And you think, oh, it's just this person. It is not just this person, not at all. It's hardly this person at all. sometimes you can be shocked because you meet this person, you have such a tremendous opening, and then you meet them outside of that space. No music, no space holding, no guidance. And they're all agitated, holding themselves, defending themselves, protecting themselves. They haven't integrated anything from their Tantra workshops. They haven't learned to be their own space holder. They haven't, and if they haven't integrated and they can't hold themselves in that level of openness, then you're just not gonna have the same experiences with them, or you're gonna become the space holder. Believe you me, that is not the way you want to go. So this is a interesting journey. Maybe you feel a spark in a workshop, but we have to hold our attachment patterns. They're very precious, but we have to be conscious of them, because we might go, oh my God, I'm ready to make this person my person. And even though I think attachment is very, very important and beautiful, I think it's a part we need to restrain and stay very conscious with, and not attach too early, whether that's in Tantra or online dating or anywhere. Not attach too early, because we need to build trust, and trust takes time. Trust is how much integrity that person has, not the words they use. Anyone can say, oh, I'm, whatever. They can say anything they want to say. But it's people whose actions align that we build trust. So we need to have time with someone to build trust, and you really want a container of trust before you pour your love into it. So I always say around attachment patterns, to notice you might just want to pour yourself into this person, start texting them, just start fantasizing, projecting future relationship, all these things. Hold back, witness it, love that part of you that's you're ready to write their surname after yours or whatever. Love that part, but don't give it too much power. Hold back and bring your wise woman, your wise man along. And really, if you want to build a real relationship with someone, take time to cultivate trust. Take time. That's what dating is all about. Do they show up on time? Do they keep their word? How do you feel in that person's presence? There's so many things we need to feel before we really give our most precious attachment away. So this is a whole journey in and of itself, and it's important to monitor it. I see this as where it turns into this, in the spiritual world, people judge attachment as being childish and silly, and it's all projection. And we need to rest somewhere in between. Yes, there is a childlike romantic projection part of our attachment. God bless it, sweet part that it is. But we also don't want to become these kind of bypassing, I don't attach, non-attachment beings. Somewhere in the middle is allowing that romantic attaching part, but holding it with our own consciousness, so that we're okay, that's a very precious part of me that's romantic, and I'm going to hold it myself until I feel absolute, trust and a solid container, someone who shows up in the way that I want and need, and I'm there for them, and then we can start building attachment. So it's a complex terrain, this whole intimacy thing. And I really wanted to make this video because I was at a Tantra festival, teaching at a Tantra festival a couple of weeks ago. And there were some people, it was their first festival, and they're getting so confused, are like, oh my God, I just really fell in love with this man yesterday, but now he wants to be with this woman and that woman. And what's with this world of Tantra? Is it all just polyamorous? No. It is not. It is a field. It is a practice space to practice opening up. It is not the most fulfilling way to relate, to just stay transpersonal. As I said earlier, it is absolutely beautiful. I'm a huge fan of building personal relationships. I think that's one of the most fulfilling experiences of being a human. I've been married twice. I've had 2 beautiful long tantric relationships. Absolutely love being in partnership. And I run retreats for couples. I run the tantricouple.com. I actually run Tantra retreats that are only for couples. You come with your couple, you work with your one person, you go home with the same person. I really support those who've met their person and want to go deep into Tantra together. This is amazing, because then you can cultivate both the personal and the transpersonal in one container. And this is the ultimate conscious relationship. I won't go more into that now, but this is the ultimate when you have both the spiritual level and the human level and a lot of love, wow, this is where maximum growth and transformation happens. So it has its place. It has its place. If you're single, if you don't have someone in your life that is aligned enough for partnership material, those periods come too. I've had plenty of those periods where there just isn't somebody that I want to be in partnership with, but I love going to tantric events and having connections and feeling open, feeling connected, practicing staying open, practicing staying alive, and yet holding my sovereignty, not just pouring myself into those connections, holding my sovereignty, waiting to see like who can really meet me in my sovereignty. Where do I really want to open up and surrender into love with someone? It's a very, very big choice. Very, very big. In fact, I'm really grateful for Tantra events, because when single, I call it tantric celibacy. You can, if you choose to, you can go to all these kind of events. You can feel very open, very juicy, very connected, and yet actually remain celibate and hold yourself until you feel the connection that you really want to go into. So these are ways to navigate, and it's quite a long video, but I really wanted to make this video because it's different from the world out there, and it takes time to work out what's going on, and I've had that time, so I wanted to shortcut it for you if you're just entering that world, or maybe you've been in it a while and you're still confused by this. So that's it. Those are things I think that are super important to remember, that there's personal love, which is more romantic and the thing we commit to. And then there's transpersonal love, which is non-attachment. It could be anyone. Any man is Shiva, any woman is Shakti, anyone's eyes who are there, you're going to feel love with, because we are essentially all one. It's one love. We're tapping into that. And why do we do that? So that we can stay open, or open ourselves up and stay open, and remember that is in us, and start to cultivate that when we leave the Tantra workshop, cultivate that as our own embodied nature. And that attachment is very healthy, very beautiful, something that we need to bring consciousness to, though. Otherwise we can attach too quickly, attach to the wrong people, attach to trauma bonds and old patterns and God knows what. We can attach in all the wrong places. So we do want to get conscious about attachment. But when we attach to someone that we've built up a lot of trust, and there's a great container, and we share values together, then that kind of attachment can be unbeatable, just beautiful, and we can create a real tantric relationship. And when we don't have that person, we can stay alive and juicy going to tantric events. Good. I hope that is helpful for somebody out there. Thank you for listening. Thank you for wanting to be the most open version of yourself. Thank you for choosing love. And stay connected. Please subscribe to my channel. I never say that, but I'm saying it now. I see other people saying it because it helps. It helps bring the message to other people that might need it. Sending you a lot of love.